Today's High Performance Podcast is brought to you by Josh Phegan Digital. It's where you'll find our incredible short courses. In under 60 minutes, you'll grow all the key skills, covering specific areas like how to hire an assistant, grow a team, to list better properties, to grow better fees, and to master your pipeline. Welcome to High Performance, a podcast featuring Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, one of the things that I see a lot of is that when someone emerges into a team, and particularly when they go to put their third person on, all of a sudden there's a bit of a realignment of what people actually do inside of job roles. And so there's this whole clarity about like literally what we actually do in terms of a weekly schedule. Now, you and I have been around for a while, but like on a Monday, open home callbacks, Tuesday, vendor reports, Fridays, prepare, open for inspection packs for Saturday as an example. But it's also too about making sure that you've got real discipline inside of a business and some things that are unlocking people at the moment. On Mondays, who are the best buyers in market right now? It actually helps you to realign your prospecting. It helps you to realign on what you could actually get them to go and have a look at that the business has already got on the market. Makes you super sharp when you're inside the listing presentation. Tuesdays, really go back through all of your market appraisals, all the people in your seller pipeline. Who are the next 1, 2 or 3 that we're actually going to sign an agency agreement on? And what could we do to go and do it? I just see agents who do hundreds of market appraisals a year, but can't tell me who their next seller is because they're not reading over that list to really think about what they would do to help Mr. and Mrs. Smith to have the confidence to come to market today. And then Wednesday, basic discipline, a little bit of a review on your current listings. Is there anything that we might need to tweak in order to be able to get something more saleable to actually get it to the position of sold? Thursday, Friday, do whatever you want. Then every day have a daily directions meeting, clear with the team, what's been listed, what's been sold, what's had a price reduction. That impacts all current campaigns, all future sellers, the way that you go to work with your buyers, how you got to have negotiation leverage. And then at about 3 o'clock, quick check in with your equivalent of Prue in ops, just to see if there's anything that she might need you to get done before close of business. If a deposit hasn't been paid, something hasn't landed the way you wanted it to, you've still got a bit of a chance to get stuff done before we actually get to close of business. That sort of structure is the big difference between a business going just okay to actually going really, really well because there's a commitment to those disciplines. How important is it that a business actually has its weekly rhythms? And how important is it that each role inside of that team knows what it does on a day-by-day basis to make sure you get consistency of growth?
It means the whole wheel is moving in synergy and everything, and there's no leakage and everything gets done right, and you're doing the best for your clients, but also you're enjoying what you're doing because it's everyone sort of has got their place. It's always going to be like we experience it every week. It's pushed and pulled, and like people within the team not happy with what's happening. That's important that you sit down and sort of iron that out. But the rhythms is something that you have to sort of find your own rhythm and work out what works well to you when you do team meetings, what the best time of week it is, when you best do vendor meetings, like when you best do appraisals, when your energy's at the highest, like when you don't do appraisals, when you run auctions, all that sort of stuff. So I think the rhythm...
So your team would have a rhythm though. Like if I came to join it today as a salesperson, then you'd be like, hey Josh, this is actually when we meet, mate, not when you want to. This is actually how the Alexander Phillips teams works. Yeah. And I kind of think that that's where a lot of people don't have that. And so when they emerge to having the next person on, all of a sudden they become real flexy again. I'm just like, no, that you got to have rigidity about the roles.
And I think sometimes also when you put more agents that put more people on and putting more people on because everyone else is doing it, they have
productive your performance, right?
But also then they can also go, they'll call my database. They don't go in the office as much.
They're not driving the team.
Yeah, and so these people are sitting around like not knowing what to do.
Yes.
Looking at each other going, there's no, someone there.
My other favourite was the first agent was hybrid, and then all of a sudden you employ your first admin assistant, and then the hybrid doesn't actually go out to want to do sales, but sits close to the admin person, training them all the time, and never actually makes all the calls. Yeah. And so is it really clear that, and I love this with the Mac as an analogy. What do you do here? I cook the fries. What do you do here? I'm at front of house. Yeah. What do you do here? I make burgers. Like they're very clear about the job roles. If the burger flipping person's not in, someone's got to go and do that job role. And so this is where I get you to think that if Prue's away for a week, someone's got to jump in and do what Prue's role actually does, and getting properties prepared and bring them to market and the compliance and all of those things to go to make that happen. But for some reason, people find that kind of flexible.
Exactly.
Why, to say you're in a position you don't really refer at all in any way to people in your team as being a junior agent or maybe a buyer's agent. They're all agents who work inside of your team and they do what agents do, which is prospect, list and sell. Yeah. I see a lot of people get hung up on that. Are they allowed to prospect from my database? Or is it only a particular area that they can go after? What's your view on what you say to your guys about what they can do as a prospecting, listing and selling agent inside of your team?
Well, we're so busy that they don't have time to be cold calling or doing that type of all our prospecting is, open houses and buy work. Like they're full on doing that because the amount of properties we're running, and off the back of those, like one Tom sold last night. We sold one in Clovelly for 13.5. That was on the market earlier this year and took off. And then we met a buyer in Tamarama. Tom qualified them, showed them through, and made a $13.5 million sale. But that was
amazing, right?
Purely off buyer work and going, okay, we had this on the market, didn't sell. What can we sell them? So, we've got so much crossover in suburbs that's what they're doing is just cross-selling and,
What I love though is that, like, you come into my team, you play at the full operating capacity. There's no opportunity to have the training wheels on. You got to be absolutely focused to be as good as me, if not better than me, at running an open home, doing a callback, making sure you get really good quality offers so then you can actually proceed forward to the owner to actually get it sold.